Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a pretty wild thought experiment. What if 6 of the world's most innovative companies, all linked to one person, were to merge into one massive entity called X Holdings? So let's just jump right in with the big question, right? What actually happens when you combine the companies that are shaping the future of electric cars, reusable rockets, AI, social media, brain-computer interfaces, and even high-speed tunneling, all under one roof? And look, this is about way more than just changing a stock ticker. The whole argument we're exploring here is that this kind of fusion would create something totally new, a corporate power unlike anything we've ever seen before. And this right here, this is the key. The central idea is that a merger like this isn't just a small step forward for business. No, it's a full-blown revolution, one that could fundamentally rewrite the economic rulebook as we know it. So let's get into it. What would this X Holdings actually look like? Well, the vision we're examining is a beast of a company, a technological and economic force that could go toe-to-toe with the GDP and definitely the influence of entire nations. All right, let's break this down. Before we even start talking about settling on Mars and, all the far-out stuff, the first and most practical reason for a merger like this is all about achieving a crazy level of efficiency right here on Earth. The thinking goes like this. You get this incredible 3-part benefit. First, unified management. One vision, one person to report to. Simple. Second, talent and tech can just flow. The best engineers, the best materials, shared instantly between projects. And third, you get rid of all the internal squabbling. No more competing shareholder interests pulling in different directions. And what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means frictionless innovation. Just think about it for a second. Imagine the AI wizards from the Grok team getting pulled in to solve a tough self-driving problem overnight. Or what about taking SpaceX's super strong rocket materials and just using them on the Cybertruck? All of that could happen in a heartbeat with zero legal red tape. But okay, that efficiency stuff, that's just the ground floor. The really mind-blowing part of this whole vision, the part that's truly revolutionary, is how this new company could literally break the rules of economics itself. For hundreds of years, pretty much all of economics, everything we've ever made or bought or sold, boils down to these 3 things: land, labor, and capital. And each one has a cost. That's just how the world works. But what if you could take 2 of those 3 things and make them, well, pretty much free? What happens to the world when land and labor don't really cost anything anymore? Let's see where this is going. And this is where it gets wild. This slide just lays it all out. On a planet like Mars, just think about it. No real estate costs, no zoning permits, no property disputes. Land is effectively free. Then you unleash an army of Optimus robots. They don't need paychecks, they don't need weekends off, they don't sleep. Suddenly, your labor cost just vanishes. So here's the bottom line. When your 2 biggest expenses, land and labor, basically drop to zero, our entire economic model, which is built on the idea that things are scarce, just shatters. And what replaces it? A totally new model, the economics of infinite abundance. Okay, so what happens when one company gets there first, when one single entity masters this new economic model? Well, the argument is their power isn't just about money anymore. They become something else, a new kind of global power, one that operates above the level of entire countries. And the scale we're talking about is just staggering. I mean, look at this chart. The economic output of this hypothetical X Holdings could completely dwarf the GDP of a G7 country like Canada or Italy. We're talking about a whole different league. But, and this is a huge but, the source material argues that the real power isn't even the money. It's about something much more fundamental. It's about controlling the pipes, the actual infrastructure that our entire society runs on and will run on. Just think about what this one entity would control. You've got global communications with Starlink. You've got the world's real-time data stream with X. You've got data from inside the human brain with Neuralink. And you've got the backbone of both energy and transportation with Tesla. That's basically everything. And all of that leads to the most audacious claim of all, that this thing wouldn't be a company anymore. It would become the de facto operating system for humanity's jump to the stars. The only organization on Earth with the power and the singular focus to actually make us a multi-planetary species.
So, where does that leave you in all of this? I mean, this is a huge, maybe even a little unsettling vision of the future. But the source material we're breaking down doesn't frame this as a threat. It frames it as an opportunity, a historic one.
The idea is that owning a share of this company would be different. It's not just an investment for your retirement. It becomes more like a ticket to be part of humanity's next giant leap, and to claim your piece of the wealth that comes from this new post-scarcity world.
So when you really boil it all down, from this point of view, a share is your legal claim on the fruits of a future where autonomous robots do all the work and humanity's expansion is limitless. It's your slice of that infinite abundance we were just talking about.
Ultimately, the scenario we've been exploring leaves us with this one very provocative question. It frames the coming decades as a massive turning point in human history, offering a clear choice: be a spectator or be a participant. And according to this argument, the decision is yours.